Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Memorial Day to all. Gina, we got some amazing people. Thank you guys for being here. Let's hit it.
All right. We have coming out of the Seattle, Washington area, platinum partner, Miss Deborah Smith, Dr. Deborah Smith, Chief Executive Officer and Medical Director of Body Prime SPC, a new venture in human health and performance. Launching this year is Wellness Made Simple, and she's all about transformational health and well-being. Welcome, Deborah, to the party.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here. This is so exciting and challenging. And,
Deborah, thank you for being here.
Definitely do.
Thank you, Deborah. And what is your fun fact?
My fun fact is I've made Air Force One wait for me on more than one occasion.
Whoa.
Now, let me clarify that. It was the airplane that was being developed for Air Force One. I was getting my pilot's license in Wichita, and I would fly up to Salina because it was this beautiful, long, wide. You couldn't really screw up at a 10,000, 13,000 foot runway. And Boeing was running the Air Force One airplane to touch and goes. And because it was there all day, it would have to wait for my little Cessna to come in and land. So I've added at least 30 to 45 minutes of flight time to that airframe, just because I had to spool and wait on the ground for me to come in, land, get gas, and then for me to fly out. So that was kind of fun watching that thing up the same way because I have the priority.
Well, awesome, Deborah. Congratulations on that. And how long have you been a Platt?
I started, this is my second year.
Very nice.
Pretty exciting.
What prompted you to join Platinum?
I had a friend by the name of Nyla Medlock, who was a longtime Platt. A lot of people know her. And she was actually a business partner. We were starting a nonprofit in Texas. And fortunately, Nyla passed away last year. So I had to retool and reframe and reinvent what we were delivering. So that's what started it.
Well, awesome. Welcome to the Real Raw, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gina.
Next up, Sean, brought to us by Mr. Kirk Adams, coming out of Santa Fe, New Mexico, Bruce Geis, a 40-year career in real estate, professional life devoted to nonprofit causes, founding and leader in the founder and leader of the Reality Gift Fund, specializing in national nonprofit, exclusively promoting charitable gifts of real estate with a target of $1 billion a year in new money. Yes, and the only certification class in America for the charitable giving of real estate. So welcome, Bruce, to The Real Raw.
Thank you so much. Glad I'm here.
Bruce, I've heard great things about you from Kirk. It's a privilege to meet you.
Thank you so much. I had a nice first meeting with Kirk, and as is the case in many of our calls, we had great chemistry right away, which is real important.
Well, wonderful. And what is your fun fact, Bruce?
My fun fact. I didn't know I was going to be asked for a fun fact, but let me just say I ended last year with $3 million donated to the nonprofit world through Gifts of Real Estate. It was we're a new nonprofit, but to write checks amounting to $3 million supporting any number of the 1.3 million public charities that we support is always a good day.
No, excellent, Bruce. Honor, privilege to have you here. Welcome to the party.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gina, we got some judges for Deborah and Bruce.
We sure do. Mr. Lee Reeves joining us from, he's been all over, Sean. This gentleman has served in the military for 20 years, owns a financial firm, knows and is passionate about human-to-human connections being the most important way to build relationships, Sean. Welcome, Lee Reeves. There's so much more about him. We have like Quintus in the audience and Kirk in the audience to support their friends that they brought to us today. So welcome, Lee Reeves, to The Real Raw.
Hey, Lee, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And what is your fun fact, Lee?
I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I can tell you that very competitive, and I play racquetball. And most people I play with, well, recently, the last few years, everyone I play with, I beat.
That is, Lee, that is a perfect fun fact.
Yeah.
Something we might not know or expect. Awesome. And
I'm getting ready to be 70.
That is extraordinary. That even makes it a more compounding fun fact. And Lee, what does your competitive drive stem from? Like, where did that begin?
What does it spin from?
Like stem from, like where did it come from? Like
stem from. I would think, well, I believe that it's from my parents. Primarily, my father was a worker. My mother was the visionary. And so wanted us to be prepared, wanted us to not limit ourselves, because anything was possible that we focused on. And the key that they taught us was focus. So my drive stems from them.
Awesome. Well, honoring your folks. Appreciate you being here, Lee. And where are you in the world today? Where are you coming from?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Nice. We got people from all over. We got Seattle and New Mexico and Raleigh. Yeah. Awesome.
Sean, can I add one thing?
No,
real quick. Yes, about Mr. Reeves, about Lee Reeves. This is incredible. Quintus shared this with me. He was in the first group, and correct me if I'm wrong, of chopper pilots to fly Black Hawks. That takes some focus, Lee Reeves, for sure. Is that a correct fact?
Pretty much. There might have been a few people before me. However, I took the first Black Hawk company to Europe. Now that's definitely was a first.
Wow. Well, awesome. It's an honor and privilege to have you here as well today, Lee. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gina.
Next up, Donovan Benzer coming to us from Lyndhurst, New Jersey, founder of Law. Yes. He's the nearest and dearest to us today, or the nearest anyway, and they're all dearest. He's a former prosecutor with many trials under his belt, published articles on various areas of law, Sean, lectured in high schools, did mock trials in high schools, and is committed to the power of positive thinking and manifesting one's best life. Welcome, Donovan, to The Real Law.
Thank you very much, Gina. And Sean, it's a pleasure to meet you here on this, and not just because you're a fellow law graduate, but I've seen the videos, and I'm just blown away by the the strength of your positive message, and the potential for it to do, I'm using a silly word, but the potential for it to do damage out in the world. The opposite of damage, obviously, but the message is just incredible, and I'm so grateful to be here with you and everyone else on this panel.
Donovan, honored as well, brother. And Lyndhurst, is that the Golden Bears? Did I have that right or no? What's the Lyndhurst town nickname for the high school? Do you know?
I believe it is the Golden Bears.
Yeah. So Lyndhurst Golden Bears are in the building. And where are you from originally? You from Jersey or no?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I was telling Gina, I was originally from Freehold Township, which has changed a lot. So I kind of consider myself from Jersey City because that's the first place I picked to live.
Very, very nice. So Gina was born at Margaret Haig Hospital, as was I in Jersey City. So welcome with all these intersections from Bergen County to the shore, Freehold and Bruce Springsteen, to the legal connections. And Donovan, it's awesome to have you here. And what's your fun fact?
My fun fact is recently I did a 500+ mile hike across Spain called the Camino de Santiago. And the hike is actually, it's a trek more than 500 years old. It was done by monks back in the day that would hike, would travel to this church on the west coast of Spain. And now it's a regular thing. Spain supports this hike very strongly. So you can't get lost. You can't really find, yourself without a place to stay at night. And it's just done is, you walk as far as you can that day and you find somewhere to sleep. And the countryside is just exhilarating. So I would recommend it to anybody. And it is designed as a spiritual hike. And so if you're spiritual, you will get a great deal out of it. If you just like hiking, you're also going to get a great deal out of it.
Very cool. Well, Donovan, that's extraordinary. Appreciate you being here today and for all your kind words. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Gina, we got Lee, Donovan, and
we have Paul May, a broker out of Las Vegas, came to the Vegas Strip originally as a performer on the Strip. Worked at the MGM Grand, understudy for David Cassidy and Tommy Tune and Rick Springfield. All that's so much fun. And now is former corporate broker partner who opened Keller Williams and knows Denise Klein and is here with us today. So welcome, Paul May, to The Real Raw.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for being here, man. We love Denise. I was on the phone with Denise earlier today. So,
she's fantastic. One of my close friends, and I was her broker when at our former brokerage, and I've popped into a number of your clubhouse events, which are always inspiring.
Well, thank you, Paul. And what's your fun fact?
Oh, well, my fun fact is, Gina had mentioned it. For 7 years, I was not only selling real estate in the day, but I was also doing shows at night, and probably one of the most spectacular shows in Las Vegas. And a fun fact is that I almost got fired from my nighttime job because I could show you a visual of what I was, how a Century 21 agent, wears the Century 21 jacket.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and show you the visual real quick if it allows me to share my screen. This was the outfit that I wore backstage. Can you guys see it?
Oh.
Wow.
So
most of us can see it. So I wouldn't even know how to describe that to Sean. So you're gonna have to describe it to Sean, because I wouldn't even know where to begin to describe that.
Well, I was wearing that outfit. I was backstage, and one of the stagehands came up to me and said, "Hey, Paul, I'm thinking about buying a townhome. And, do you have any advice?" And I was like, "Oh man, yeah, definitely. You should buy a home over on the southeast part of town. I just sold a beautiful house to Heather. And, I can probably get you qualified and ready to purchase. There's about 5 of them available." And he listens to his headset and he's like, "Paul, are you supposed to be on stage right now?"
What was the show?
It was called EFX. It was over at the MGM Grand with Michael Crawford was the first star. I was the understudy for David Cassidy, Tommy Tune, Rick Springfield. But in that outfit, and I don't know how many of you saw it, it's called The Master of Time. and I was not on time as far as
That
making
would
it
not
to
be
the
an element
stage.
to Sean Callaghy either.
This never happened to me, Paul. Never.
And David was like, bantering on stage, and I showed up late, and he looked at, I was sure I was going to be fired, but at the end of the day, he forgave me. He was bantering, and I made it on stage, and we got the scene done, and luckily I kept my job.
Paul, from truly having the realtor's heart, delaying Las Vegas shows. Welcome,
Right.
to Real Raw. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next up is the one and only influence sorcerer, Sean.
Ooh, Bella Rita started selling crafts on her front lawn as a tot. Graduated to being a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. Is now the chief sales sorceress, influence sources, cook and bottle washer, princess queen of influence at Align after she had been the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, which I do believe includes Las Vegas. Bella Rita, ladies and gentlemen, how are you?
I am extraordinary, Sean Callaghy. How about yourself?
I am doing quite nicely. Very grateful for Quintus and Kirk and all these amazing folks today. And what, Bella, is your fun fact?
My fun fact, Sean Callaghy, is I am in a space today that has this beautiful lion on the door that says something about like caring, urgent, aggressive. You might have heard about it. It's this place called Callaghy Law. Have you ever heard of it?
You're in the Callaghy Law offices in Boca?
I am in the Callaghy Law offices in Boca today.
Is Jeff Fravor in the building or no?
He is not in the building. No,
Okay.
he went to pick up his kids.
All right. So how are you enjoying the space?
It is a beautiful space. It is super fun, and it's I haven't been in a office other than the Callaghy Law office in New Jersey in a very long time. It's beautiful here. It's a gorgeous space. So it's super fun. And the office that Jeff says I can take over to work in, it's massive. I'm like, what I don't even know what to do with all of this space.
That's how we roll. Bella Rita, welcome to the party. Love hearing that you are in Callaghy Law, Boca. So
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome.
It's got your name on the door. It's kind of a nice place.
Yes, that is fun. That is fun. The lion, all of it. So welcome, Bella. Gina, thank you for everything you do. You are extraordinary and amazing. And Gina Ricci may not have been chasing or being chased by rock stars across the Jersey Shore for this entire summer, including potentially on Saturday night. We'll come back to that story a different day, Gina. Thank you for everything you do.
Sean Callaghy, thank you. You are so much fun. Thank you all for being here today, and have fun exploring the impact of integrity-based human influence. Buckle up for the multiverse. Hopefully see you all soon. Bye.
Bye, Gina.
All right, let's do this thing. So Bella, who's going first?
Ooh, I'm feeling Mr. Bruce today.
All right, Bruce, are you ready to do this thing?
I think I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
Awesome. So this is about going from hello to yes. So Bella will play any avatar that we request. So who would you like Bella to be? It's about you going from hello to yes with a potential ideal client, investor, somebody that you may want to have enrolled to put their home into this beautiful charitable giving or sign up for your program. So who would you like Bella to be?
I'd like Bella to be a financial advisor.
Bella, how about you play
with many high net worth clients.
Very nice. So Bella, you are a financial advisor, aka Rob Gill-like, with lots of high net worth clients. Please, Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, Bruce Geis here. How are you?
I am amazing, Bruce. How about yourself?
Just perfect. Thanks.
Thanks for calling today.
Well, I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're available. I wanted to speak with you. I got your name from a source that we both know, met at a conference, said I should give you a call. We were talking about a story of a charitable donation I had really recently taken through my nonprofit, and we both thought of you. We thought it would be pertinent to your practice. So if I could, let me just tell you that Realty Gift Fund is a national nonprofit that exclusively accepts charitable gifts of real estate. And we do this because the vast majority of the 1.3 million public charities in America cannot accept an asset as complex as real estate. In fact, despite the fact that real estate is the largest asset class in America, it performs very poorly in the charitable pipeline. Realty Gift Fund is an intervening nonprofit, a collaborating nonprofit, a specialized nonprofit. The only thing we do is accept charitable gifts of real estate on behalf of other nonprofits. So my reason for calling you is because I'm sure that you, in the course of managing the affairs of your high net worth clients, you do speak about philanthropy strategies as a way of balancing a person's overall estate and the legacy that they might want to leave when it becomes time to unwind that estate. And to this point in time, it has been impossible for someone like a client of yours to make a charitable gift of an asset instead of just making a charitable gift of cash. And now Realty Gift Fund is here, and I want you and your clients to know that they can start making gifts of assets to the charitable world. And a gift of an asset has the least impact on a high net worth individual's lifestyle, but has the most impact on that person's legacy. So this is the topic I'd like to discuss with you.
That sounds very interesting. And so when someone donates real estate, and then what do you guys like? I'd be very interested to see how this all works.
Okay, so we're a nonprofit, but we were founded by four very experienced real estate people, each of us with 4 decades of real estate under our belt, always practicing on a national basis. So Realty Gift Fund has a national footprint.
Got it. Okay.
We are a 501c3. If you donate an asset to us, it generates the tax benefits that are abundant to your donors. And then we take title. We accept the complexity of the asset. We fix it. We sell it. And in the donation agreement, we allow your donor to say, I'd like the money to go to this nonprofit or these nonprofits.
Oh,
so when we sell the asset, the money goes out the door the same day through a wire to the nonprofits named by your donor.
Wow, that's amazing. Sounds very interesting.
Well, no one does not like our story, Bella. But what I'd like to do is discuss with you how we can strategize on getting a few of your high net worth clients, when it's appropriate, on the phone with me on a Zoom call so that we can make a personal connection, so that we can get them interested in making gifts of assets instead of what they usually do, which is make gifts of cash.
Yeah, definitely. I would be interested in that. Thank you.
Okay. Is there some strategy that you might think of, something that you would propose to help us get that first phone call?
So do you mean a strategy that I would propose for a first phone call with one of our individuals?
Yes, right. I mean, are you working? The financial advisors that I work with, and Bella, I work with lots of financial advisors.
Yeah.
Okay, they are.
I would say this, Bruce. Sorry for my interruption. I'm going to have another call, but I would say, the best thing for us to possibly do is we put on these events called the Real Raw, and I would say, maybe you come to that event. We'll have some folks on, and maybe we can do something that way. I think that
I do many events like that, Bella.
Sure.
I teach a class nationwide on the charitable giving of real estate. It is the only certification class in America that teaches individuals how to become involved in the charitable giving of real estate. I make presentations to estate planning councils and financial advisor groups and real estate groups all the time. I would be very happy to join a group of 2 or a group of 200.
Beautiful. Awesome.
So Bella, you have a quick phone call you got to grab. It's the fine folks at Caligari Law. They're like, Bella Reed has infiltrated the Boca Raton office, and they're like going, oh my God. So there's a conversation.
There's a party.
There's a party. It is amazing. So Bruce,
They're
excellent
like,
job.
send us cakes and the brownies and the unicorns. I'm sure that's what the phone call was.
I am
like, Bella's in the office. We want to celebrate. Send cake and flowers. I'm sure that was the phone call. Yeah.
Perfect. So Bruce, excellent job. How'd that feel for you, Bruce?
Medium.
Okay. Excellent. We'll get some feedback from the judges in a minute. Great job. Deborah, are you ready?
Ready as I'm going to be. So,
all right, let's go. Who would you like Bella to be?
I want her to be a potential coaching client, someone who called in based on something they might have seen on the web. They filled out an application to become part of our high-end VIP executive health program, which involves coaching. It's a digital program.
All right, awesome. Take us in, please. Deborah, Bella, let's go.
Hello, this is Bella.
Well, hi, Bella. This is Deb Smith. It's so great to speak with you today. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. I was looking forward to the call.
Great. I understand you're calling in from Boca Raton.
I am. Yep.
How's the weather in Boca today?
It's a little stormy outside, as a matter of fact. Yes, a little rainy today.
That should pass hopefully pretty quick. Well, I really want to honor and appreciate your commitment to speaking with me today. And in order to determine if this program and our coaching is a good fit for you, I'd like to ask your permission to ask you some health questions around your health and wellness. Okay, great. So have you ever worked with a health coach before?
I have not, no.
You've not?
No.
Have you ever worked with any specific programs to try to improve your health or well-being before now?
I haven't, no. Health has always been a fairly easy thing for me to have a grip on. I think it's gotten harder with as much travel as I do. And then I have friends that are addicted to pizza and Twizzlers, and they force me to shove pizza down my throat and cookies in Twizzlers, and don't let me say no. So that's made it a little bit more challenging.
That certainly can be in this day and age with food and food being such a central part of our lives. Out of all the other health coaches and programs on the market right now, why did you agree to this call today? Why us and why now?
Yeah, I think, it's something that I'm interested in right now. As I said, I've always been pretty good at managing my health, but with all of the travel and, sometimes staying committed to my workout, while I'm on and just, I am I've taken more trips around the sun. And so in those more trips that I've taken around the sun, I'm just like noticing, my energy level has decreased a bit. And so, just kind of wanting to take a more proactive approach.
Okay, well, that certainly makes a lot of sense. What is your top health goal for the next 6 months to the next year?
I would say my top health goals, I just did like my body composition stuff. So I'd like to drop my body fat percentage by, I would say in the next 6 months, probably by a 6 to 8% in the next 6 to 8 months. And I would really love to, say no to Twizzlers, M&Ms, and all the things when they present themselves. I have a very hard time saying no when they're in front of me.
Okay. Well, other than Twizzlers and friends and travel and getting older, has anything else ever gotten?
I did not say getting older. I just said I was taking more trips around the sun. Let's be
more
careful.
Trips around the sun. Okay, we'll clarify that.
Yeah.
So a few more trips around the sun.
A few more trips around the sun.
I'm like
Benjamin Button. I go backwards in age, so I actually get younger. The more trips around the sun I take, the younger I actually get.
Well, there actually are scientific ways to reduce your biological age, and I'd love to be able to speak with you more about that. Has anything else ever gotten in the way of achieving health goals other than what you've already mentioned so far?
Nope, that would be it.
Well, perfect. Well, a couple of questions. Do you feel like would I be able to offer some insights or suggestions to where we might be able to go with your health?
Yeah, we'd definitely be interested to see where we go from here.
Okay. With coaching with our specific program, we offer a program that's based on lifestyle medicine. So I consider it a scientific wellness approach, meaning that we teach you the fundamentals of good health using some new developments, epigenetics, and microbiome, and just how to incorporate that into a very busy life. People who travel, people who have bad influences, possibly with family and friends. We give you a community platform, we give you coaching, so that when you do achieve or go after weight loss through a more holistic, plant-centered approach, you can do it safely and sustainably. We don't sell powders, we don't sell shakes, we don't sell products. What we sell is a very simplified framework of really kind of the fundamentals of how wellness and well-being work with the body, and actually becoming more at one with your microbiome, with your environment, and giving you the tools and the techniques to actually make health a sustainable habit. We basically teach people how to be health owners, not health operators. There is no such thing as passive health, but people also don't have to work as hard as health as they do. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yes, it would.
Hey, Bella,
Perfect.
it's Jeff Graber on the phone. There's a package delivery of 100 pounds of Twizzlers, 100 pounds of M&Ms, and 100 pounds of Kit Kats at the front.
Sean, that's mine. That's mine.
I was gonna say that's being delivered to my very bad influence, Sean Callaghy. He might be the bad influence in this equation.
So Deborah, awesome job. How'd that feel for you?
It felt good, a little not smooth because I just not practiced this enough. So.
Okay. Well, awesome. So let's drop in with the judges and see what everybody has to say for a hot minute. So let's first go to Donovan. 30 seconds of feedback, please, for each of these fine folks. Belle is the keeper of time integrity, and along with that little clock for 30 seconds of feedback, 15 seconds what worked, 15 seconds what could be optimized, please, and a score on a scale of 1 to 10 of how effectively these fine folks are opening up, listening, connecting at the heart level, and going from hello to yes. Please, what do you have first for? Let's go whichever way you want to go. We'll go Bruce first.
Okay, sure. I thought Bruce had a lot of great things to say. My recommendation would be for Bruce to tighten it up a bit. There were some really compelling moments about how donation of real estate being easier on the donor than it is on the than with regard to other forms of assets, and the other stuff that was filler and introduction. I would cut that and just get to the point and not go over time.
And your score for Bruce is?
I'd say, I have to say Bruce is a 7, but he's really a 10 in the future, in you know, immediate, inevitable future. He's going to be a 10, but I think he just needs to tighten it up.
Awesome. And how about for Deborah? What you have, Donna?
Start doing the 30.
Yeah.
Deborah, I thought was really good at connecting on emotional level. The problem with that is that it takes time. If all of us could connect on an emotional level within 15 seconds, we'd all be married in 20 seconds. But Deborah had a lot of great, interesting things to say about health. Health is something that affects all of us, and her message is valuable. But again, I would tighten it up, stick to the time limitations, and get to the point quickly.
Your score for Deborah is?
Deborah, I would say, is a 5, but in immediate and you know, inevitable future, she's going to be a 10. I'm positive.
All right, Donovan, thank you for that. Excellent work. Lee, what say you, sir, for Bruce, please?
For Bruce, clearly he was in command of his information, his craft. I mean, he really knows what he's talking about. I might suggest that he might have spent just maybe a couple more questions or trying to build a little bit of rapport. He just kind of got right into what he was there for. In other words, he did more talking and didn't allow her to talk very much. But I think it was just because he had a lot to say in getting out the powerful presentation he had, which was very good. So that's what I have for him.
And your score for Bruce is?
Can we do, I'd say an 8.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Lee. What about for Deborah?
Deborah, I thought she was good. She knew where she was trying to go. I like the fact that she kept Bella talking. And when you're in sales, if the other person's talking, they were going to eventually tell you what you need to know to get to yes. And Deborah was leading her there. I thought she did a good job and gave her a 9.
Nice. Excellent job, Lee. Paul, please, what do you have for Bruce?
Hey, Bruce. Yes, Bruce was commanding of his information as far as what the nonprofit was about. My suggestion, though, would be to include some sort of a story that is relatable to the individuals that are potentially going to be contributing these assets to your nonprofit. Maybe share a story of the monies that you've received through your nonprofit and how they've helped individuals, coming up with something that can really be relatable as far as what your contribution can do for someone. Tying something like that in, I think, pulls on the heartstrings of your contributors and ultimately opens them up emotionally to give.
And your score for Bruce is?
The score, I think, would be a 7.
Nice. And how about for Deborah? What'd you have, Paul, please?
Same thing for Deborah. Coming from a relatable experience of people that have started with her health program, sharing results of what it's done for their lives in the process of asking the questions that she asks to basically understand where they're coming from. If you have some sort of a relatable story of someone that's in the same kind of situation or the same kind of health experience as them, and then relaying that, I always believe relaying some sort of a story to tie it in with the information that they're providing kind of opens up that client to have information that's, receivable.
Nice.
And your score for Deborah is?
I would say also a 7.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that, Paul. So let's drop in. Deborah and Bruce, you guys ready to have just a little bit more fun today?
Say yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Right. So under the table, I have a number, and it's some number between 1 and 10. So Deborah, what number do you think that is?
4.
Okay. Let's go. Bruce, what do you think?
6.
Okay. Let's go. Paul, what do you think?
5.
All right. Let's go with Donovan. What do you think?
7.
And Lee, what do you think?
I agree with 7.
All right. This is the first time, Bella, everybody was over. It was the number 1. So I think Deborah said 4. So Deborah is the closest overall because everybody went over. So Deborah, here's the deal. You get to now, if you want to, get to put me on the hot seat or on the spot where I have to go from hello to yes, just like you and Bruce just did, but you get to pick the scenario. I'll be anybody you want me to be. The only request condition is that it's integrous. We are not selling swampland in the middle of Seattle, Deborah. It's integrous. So who would you like me to be? Or you could pass the scenario setting along to somebody else here if you don't want to set it for yourself or set it yourself. So what do you say? You want to set the scenario or pass it along?
I'm actually going to take it.
All right.
I'm going to actually put you in the same scenario that Bella was.
Okay. So I have to be the person getting the yes, seeking the yes. So you want me to be then you having to get a yes from somebody like Bella. Is that right or no?
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, and to be clear, the yes I am seeking is then for health and wellness coaching.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. And then who would you like me to be communicating about that with? Anybody other than Bella? Who would you like to be the person I am having the health and wellness communication with?
Lee.
I'm sorry?
Lee.
With Lee. I'm sorry. No, okay. Hey, Lee, would that be okay if you're somebody having a chat with about a couple things?
Sure.
All right. So, hey, Lee, first of all, thanks so much for being here today. Again, my name is Deborah, and it was really cool meeting on the Real Raw. I know that you did some interesting things with Black Hawk helicopters, and you're up to like racquetball intensive competition. But what's life like at this point, Lee? And I was really impressed by your story.
Life is good. I feel like I believe that I have gotten to a space where I need to be, and that is I'm also a pastor, and that brings me in contact with a lot of people, and some of them are needy. But long story short is I give. I'm able to bless and help a lot of people in what I do, and that's fulfilling. So that's a good space for me to be in.
That's awesome. And what prompted you, Lee, to step into that space of becoming a pastor?
Well, it's called a call. I believe in the Bible literally, and God calls. Yes, an example of Moses, that was a burning bush and he heard a voice. In my case, there was no burning bush, but I clearly heard the voice of God, and I accepted that call.
Wow. That had to be not a small decision, or maybe it was an easy one because you had that clarity. So congratulations on having that clarity. I think a lot of people spend their entire life seeking that and never get there. So congratulations on getting there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so I'm hearing racquetball. I'm hearing competitiveness. So where does health, racquetball, where does this all fit together in terms of your mission?
One aids the other. When I can have a few partners to, as you know, we had a tough year and all of that was shut down. And so we're probably easily 10, 15 pounds heavier. But when we're actively playing and that sort of thing, that helps my health.
All right. So I'm hearing health is a key critical driver for you. I'm hearing intentionality around movement and racquetball and those things as a part of your mission.
Yes.
Yeah. So it would be okay. I know we're about out of time here, a little less than a minute to go. And I'd appreciate an opportunity, Lee, if you don't mind, share a little bit about what I do. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Yeah. So Lee, I stand in the space of standing for people a little bit differently than you do, but I believe that people certainly need their spirituality and faith squared away. I believe that people need their finances and money squared away. I also believe that people need their health, energy, and vitality, as you were just sharing, squared away at the highest level. So the work that I do is in the space of helping people audit, confront, or even carefront and have some fun, but really, really dig deeply into their health, vitality, and energy. And that's my life's mission and work. And when we look at the world and all the challenges that we're having, and there are certainly many, there's an epidemic of people having fundamental misunderstandings about why they're happy or not, why they're energized or not. And so often people look outside, they look to their economics, they look to what people think about them, how many likes they may have on social media. Heck, they even look at, what is going on day to day inside their own household, which certainly matters. But all of that is filtered through our nervous system. And our nervous system not only is about how we focus our brain, it's about how our brain is able to be focused along with our entire nervous system based on what we take into our body and how we use our body. And that sounds potentially interesting, or maybe it sounds super simple, but there are so many levers to unlock for people. So what I would offer and propose to you, Lee, is not just, in seeking to have you be somebody I work with, but potentially reaching the many, many people that you have influenced so beautifully with, is I'd love to offer you a session to unpack and audit and look at your health, vitality, energy, and what's there. And listen, if I don't do a great job, tell everybody in the world that I'm nuts and I wasted your time. But I will not waste your time. And again, if it resonates, great. And if it doesn't, I understand. what are your thoughts?
Sounds very interesting. I'd love to have that session.
All right, awesome. Out of roll. Thank you, Lee, for that. How did that feel for you, Lee? What we just did?
It felt good. Particularly you made it about me. And I didn't feel like you were coming at me trying to sell me something. You were genuinely interested in me and where are you and what's going on with you. I received that, and that felt good.
Well, thank you, Lee. And I know that you are definitely somebody who's communicated with a lot of human beings and is a very lovingly but direct human being. I can feel your energy, so thank you for that. Deborah, how'd I do as you?
A lot better than me is me. So nicely delivered, very smoothly delivered. Found out his focus, and then we set it as I can help you.
Well,
Give
thank
me
you.
a chance.
Bruce, your thoughts? How'd that feel for you?
Well, I thought it was perfect. I mean, that's why I responded when you said, how did I feel about what I did? And I said, medium. Many more of my calls and my first connections actually are about exploring who it is I'm speaking with, whether it's a nonprofit, which I speak to lots of nonprofits, believe me, or donors or financial advisors. And that is a real key ingredient. And I've had people say that to me before, because it's once you understand who you're talking to, then you kind of know where to go with the information you have.
Absolutely. Right. It's about speaking into the listening.
Right. And it's also always about them, not you. I mean, it's charitable giving of real estate is something I really do well. But that's one of my favorite sayings is do what you do well. What is it you do that I can help you with by doing what I do well?
Amen.
We ultimately get there.
Amen. So Bella, real quick, how'd that feel for you that round?
That was extraordinary. It really landed, and I've seen you do that 800 gazillion times. I'm on the show every day. But what really landed this time was the foundation of integrity-based human influence is to get to know, because I heard Lee say, I felt like you got to know me. And that's what integrity-based human influence is it's not about trying to sell anybody anything or trying to get anything from anyone, but really truly understanding another human being and how to add value to their lives. And you demonstrated that beautifully. So
thank you, Bella. So let's hit it a little bit here this roundup. Donovan, how was your time with us on The Real Raw today? And what's a big yes that you, Donovan, a big yes that you're seeking in the world?
Well, my time with Unblinded has been great so far. A big yes that I'm seeking in the world. I don't know if this isn't necessarily a single thing, but I thought about, I think it was Paul articulating about consistency, and that's a nice luxury to have in my practice and in your practice too, probably, to have a consistent level of business. When I used to work for a law firm, Sean, as you know, sometimes lawyers will graduate law school, work for a big firm, and then go out on their own. I had a crutch after I left the law firm of working as a municipal prosecutor. So I was guaranteed a certain income, an income every year. And then I also worked my private practice. And I've given that up, and it's a little bit scary. But it's also, it ties into what this show is about, what you've been speaking about, and positivity and manifesting what you want to have happen. And so it was important for me to give up those crutches and to just jump out there and subsist on what I can bring in each month. And litigation isn't consistent. I mean, people don't get sued equally each month. So that's something that I would wish for. But again, that's a wish and not an expectation, because an expectation sets up a resentment or a feeling of failure, or a feeling of negativity in my mind. And that is no business in the business of law.
No, awesome, brother. Appreciate it very much. And there is a science, that's what we unpack here, of how to create that flow of much greater consistency through the power of ecosystem merging and hello to yes and all the things. But truly appreciate you being here today and for all your valuable contributions and your very kind words. So thank you, Don.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you. Paul, how about yourself? How was your time with us today? And what's a big yes that you're seeking in the world?
I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. The big yes that I'm seeking is the hello to yes, but what I'd like to create in my life and in my business is I would like to be able to leverage my knowledge in real estate to have others be part of my organization so that I can help them thrive. But the other thing that I'm working on every day is to try to attract and not chase. In the real estate world, you tend to be chasing after the next deal. I'd love to create some sort of a marketing campaign. With the experience that I have, I know I can help individuals, but when they don't know you, it almost is like you're chasing them.
Yeah.
And until they get to know you, they don't care what you know, right?
Two biggest
So,
things.
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was basically it. I'd love to attract clients and not chase them. And how to do that is something that I'm consistently working on.
Yeah. And so, what if that's exactly what you're sitting in the middle of right now?
In what respect?
This entire environment.
Oh, yeah. No.
What we're doing right now is because the hardest thing to do in business and fundraising, charitable or otherwise, is to assemble an audience of your ideal avatars, your ideal ecosystem partners, your ideal people for speaking, and your ideal client or investor or donor. And so how do you create that shared experience consistently has been the study of my life for 24 years. And that's what allows for growth and scale, because the person that has the ability to function freely is the person that has the ability to create that audience, the ideal audience, not the randomized audience, the ideal audience in the way that you said, where you're not chasing and pursuing, you're integrally adding value. So lots more to unpack in the future. But Paul, I really thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Lee, how about yourself? Again, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And what's the big yes that you're seeking?
To win. And that doesn't mean winning an argument. It means that what I'm sending is received and vice versa. As an example, one of my favorite colonels I worked for in the military, he was an English major, but we used to have these dog and pony shows where we had to go before the general, a bunch of colonels, and I supported him. But long story short, he said, this general right here, he's visual. So therefore I use these kind of words. But the one right next to him, he's auditory, so I use these kind of words. Now, I followed him then, I understand it now, but in his communications, he won every time, where a lot of the others struggle. And so he was just an artist at communicating, and that's where I would like to be.
Oh, amen to that, and thank you for being here. And by the way, truly appreciate and thank you for your service. And
you're welcome. Thank you.
Our freedom and our ability to do this today, because without people like yourselves, on the day after Memorial Day, recognizing that, we're not here. So thank you, Lee.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bruce, sir, how was your day with us today? And what's the big yes you're seeking in the world?
My day was great with you. I consider myself a student of the craft of communication. And the big yes that I'm seeking, of course, I would like to say at the end of any particular year that we've logged X number of $1 million of fundraising to the nonprofit world. Really what I'm trying to do is gather as many people into a tribe who support social causes, who understand that there is an alternative to using your money by giving to the nonprofit world, and to get involved and to use their best assets for doing so by thinking more clearly into the subject.
Bruce, awesome. Thank you for being here. Thoughts? So I've had the privilege of raising $3.4 million the last 4 times I've spoken charitably, and none of those were fundraisers. They were just to groups of people that were at events of different sorts where I was a speaker. And what I would share this from my heart is that finding the mechanisms of keeping that tribe together by adding value to them and them to one another, different than just giving, that is the magic piece of the formula, where people are there connecting and creating things far beyond just the giving. So a lot more to unpack there. I'm so thankful to Quintus for the introduction to Lee, for the amazing Dr. Kirk Adams for the introduction to you, and I look forward to developing a relationship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A great deal.
Thank you. Deborah, awesome job. How was your day with us today? And clearly your yes seems to be involved in health, but anything else you want to share?
Well, first of all, I'm very honored and excited to be here. It was a great amount of uncomfortable action for me because I grew up with a significant speech impediment. And so speaking in front of people, being on video, it's extremely intimidating. So I appreciate the chance to help find my voice. And my biggest yes is trying to create a transformational health and well-being movement, which involves changing healthcare from the outside in and really leveraging new discoveries in healthcare that are not necessarily pharmaceutical, but more related to lifestyle, and doing that through a platform that involves empowering people on their health. So it'll be an interesting challenge, interesting journey.
Well, Deborah, thank you so much for being here. Are you going to Costa Rica on the Platte trip?
No, I'm home creating content.
All right.
So I took a 6-month hiatus from all outside activities to get the content launched.
Well, that is awesome stuff. And just remember from my heart to yours that the creation of content is going to evolve over time. It's the creation of audience that is essential. And there's mechanisms to do that. So the content and the audience creation both take amazing perseverance and intentionality, but there's a science. So Deborah, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bella Verita, once again, an amazing job. You're first from Caligula South. So what say you in final?
Final is, first just want to thank all these amazing humans for being with us here today. And hopefully you got to take a little bit more about what integrity-based human influence is and how it can impact the money, time, and magic in your life. And if that at all has piqued your curiosity, you're like, I'd like to know more about that. I'd like to know how I can have some of that more money, time, and magic that they've been talking about over there. Every Monday night at 7 p.m., Sean does an exclusive event for anybody who's been on The Real Raw. So that is you find folks here that unpacks what the formula is. So definitely come back to that. And one of the strategist team members will reach out to you and make sure you're all aligned for that and see if you have any questions or what we can support with. So definitely take that call. So thank you all for being here. And it was definitely an honor to be with you today. Back to you.
Yes, truly an honor. Thank you for that. So Lee, Donovan, Paul, Deborah, Bruce, fantastic job. And again, Quintus and Dr. Kirk Adams, thank you for everything to Quintus McDonald, Dr. Kirk Adams. Truly appreciate you. And really, our money, time, and magic is controlled by a force other than our higher power, whatever that means to you, and a science, just like gravity. That's deciding our audience numbers, our members. It's not about followers. It's about co-creation, relationship acceleration, going from hello to yes, knowing where to assert that and how to get ourselves to do it, battling our fear of rejection and failure. That's the game we're playing. That's the world that we're in. We are super grateful for you. And Bella, fantastic job. The great challenge, though, for all of us, Bella, is that we're all blind.
And just learning to see.
All right,
Bye-bye,
you.
everyone.
Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Go on.